my friends. This is Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works, and you know who I am, Gastric Rose. Hugs, my friends. Okay, I'm going to keep my glasses on just for the question. How to handle the critics, yourself, and everyone else. How do you handle your own inner critic, the inner one? What tips and strategies have you found most useful to calm the noise so that you can move ahead and make progress on your journey? How do you handle critic and criticism from those around you? What tips and strategies have you found useful to deal with these outside influencers? Wow. I'm going to, first of all, tell you that I don't have all the answers and that I am still working on me. I had several critics, okay? Let's just put it that way. You know, you get the thumbs down, you get the critics that think that, you know, you're not giving them the correct information. You get a person not too long ago told me I was still a fat ass. What was I still doing on YouTube, you know? I've gotten the person that, you know, that was in Dallas. She would always tell me, you know, you're just going to gain it back. Things like that. Things that I have literally lived through, and I'm sure you have done as well with people in your life. But I can tell you that I've gotten a lot of good criticism as well. You know, I have had family members that believed that this saved my life. Weight loss surgery saved my life. So I have had the good as well as I've had the bad. But I'm going to now tell you what are the strategies that I've faced or dealt with or worked through. Again, I'm a work in progress still. Okay, so I've tried not to take things personally. I've got some things written down. Because, you know, most of the times, if not all the times, their criticisms reflect it's more about them than about us, you know. So the way they react is probably a normal thing for them. And so how are we going to react to what they say? You know, that speaks volumes about us. I have found that out. So one of the strategies is that to understand the underlying message. You know, my mama used to say to us all the time, there's some truth. Okay, that she said that, but why did she say that about you? You know, of course, we didn't want to hear that. No, Mom, for real, I didn't do anything, you know. And she goes, you know how mamas are. And even if it wasn't true, what was the underlying message? I don't want to hear that I'm still a fat ass. But even in the video that I made about that man that said that, and he's said other comments to me, I had to realize, you know, Rosemary, you got some work to do. There is still work to be done in your journey. But I don't believe that I should be away from YouTube because I'm still working on me. That was not true. That was not true. I do go up and down, and you know, you get people that watch your videos and look at you on Facebook, and you know, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be the perfect Rosemary. This is my body. This is the perfect body that I have found that helps me move when I need to move. You know, before, it was hard for me to move at 487 pounds, you know. But today, I move, you know, I'm as mobile as I can be at 53. And what was the underlying message? Was there one? Maybe there wasn't one. You never know. Needless to say, the ones who choose to comment are the ones that are usually being the gloom and doom people. They like it. They enjoy it. You know? But I don't believe, honestly, I don't believe that everyone is a gloom and doom just because they're giving you some feedback, especially if you ask for it. you know. Take it as a source of honest feedback, you know. How honest can it be, you know? Is it as honest as it's going to be? Take their criticism as a source of reliable, honest feedback rather than seeing them as uninvited criticism. At least with them, you know what you see is what you get. You know, those are the type of people that they don't know how to be any other way. Like my friend that I used to work with, she didn't know how to be any other way. You know, she just said it and blurted it out, and by the time it came out, it was like a shocker to the person that's listening to it, you know. Sometimes I'd rather have her been direct than behind my back. Does that make sense? You know. And address your discomfortness with them. Address them. Let them know. That's, you know, I didn't learn that till way after. I was already in California, and I should have addressed her there in Texas. I should have said, you know, you're hurting my feelings. I'm doing my best to lose this weight, you know. Every week, you know, I find myself, you know, you're making it harder for me or whatever. But I always say she lit the fire, and she did. She lit a fire in me that I had to prove her wrong. So I thank her for that. I know you've heard me say that before. Sometimes I have to ask myself, why am I uncomfortable with what the person is saying? Why are you so uncomfortable about it, Rosemary? You know, is there something you could do to change it? You know, like I said, we go up and down, our bodies go up and down, and sometimes we're feeling, you know, like defeated. Like, I can't do this anymore, you know? So, you know, you take it for what it's worth. And don't ask for opinions if you can't take it. My husband, you know, I'll say, babe, do these pants make me look fat? And if he says yes, I get offended. Okay, I know I'm not the only wife. But guess what? I go and I change my clothes. The other day I was wearing some, you know, pants. And I'm very happy when I get to wear white. Because white, I was never able to wear white. And now I'm able to wear white. But, you know, I do have the hips that have the bulges and the bumps and the lumps. And, you know, and I ask, am I too lumpy today, babe? And, you know, if he says yes, then I have to take his word. Now, I can still be proud of how far I've come and wear those pants. But how comfortable am I going to be when I look at, you know, my reflection and I'm seeing the bumps and the lumps and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I have to be comfortable in what I'm wearing too. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. I had to learn to ignore also the criticism. It's easier said than done. I know. I know. Oh. But I'm going to give you a quote. Buddha was given a criticism. I'm not going to go into the criticism but this was his response, and this is what I want you to get. Buddha was well known for his ability to respond to evil with good, right? There was a man who knew about his reputation, and he traveled miles and miles and miles to test Buddha. You know, like somebody we know in the Bible. When he arrived and stood before Buddha, he verbally abused him constantly. He insulted him. He challenged him. He did everything he could to offend Buddha. Buddha was unmoved. He simply turned to the man and said, "Can I ask you a question? May I ask you a question?" The man responded with, "Well, what?" Buddha said, "If someone offers you a gift and you decline to accept it, to whom does the gift belong to?" The man said, "Duh, then it belongs to the person who offered it Who gave it? Buddha smiled. That is true. That is correct. So if I decline to accept your abuse, does it not then still belong to you? The man was speechless and walked away. Sometimes you just have to take the criticism and walk away. Ignore it. Ignore it. Like that train that you hear going, let it just go on by. Doesn't belong to you. Don't accept it. Do not bring it to you. You know. Hear it, but don't accept it. Let it drive on by like that train that you hear. Okay. And the one that I think should be probably have been the first one, but I've left it for the last one, is to be kind. Show them kindness. I had to show this man kindness. You know, the one that told me I was fat. Don't you know you were still a fat ass? I did the video not to prove him a point, but to help the other people that were being abused by him. Also, because he was saying that we shouldn't be on video. We shouldn't show videos. We shouldn't encourage people because we're still fat asses. Well, that's wrong. That's wrong. But I have to realize something. That these people who are the hardest to love are the ones who need the most love, my friends. They're the ones that need the most love. You know, how do you avoid them? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes they're your family members. Sometimes you live with them. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes, you know, you see them at church all the time, or a function that you go to, or meet and greets, or I don't know. Sometimes they're not your friends, but other people's friends. No matter what, no matter how hard it can be, I think that the more kindness that you show, I have found it to be true, it bounces back onto you. So showing kindness is a good thing. You know, remember that they're the ones that are needing the most love. They are. I know it's hard to hear and understand it, and I hope I spoke to somebody today. Please leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I'll just end it one more time with what Buddha said. That he said, yeah, you're right. So if I decline to accept your abuse, does it not still belong to you, to them, to whoever the critic is? You know, and the voices that speak to you, loud, avoid them. Try not to make them louder than what's in here. You know, what's in here? What has made you who you are today? How much can you continually lift yourself up? Those words that get louder and louder and louder and speak to you, you know, make sure that they're positive voices. When a negative voice comes, make the positive get louder, louder. That negative voice will finally die down, and that positive voice will come, you know. Yeah, I still have 5 more pounds, but I'm doing it. I'm working on me every day. Yes, yes. It dies, and this becomes reality. This becomes real. All right, guys, I've said enough. I love you. Go out and be the best you that you can be. And I'll see you here next time, next Sunday. See you then. Leave me a message. Bye.